this world, I can feel the pressure, but I can take it 'cause I'm not alone. Where the truth is given me to guide me through the darkness. I was so trapped, but he set me free.
Welcome back to Kung Fu Maintenance. Last time I showed you an electrical problem where a wall switch was controlling all of the other outlets. Today I want to show you how half electrical outlets controlled by a wall switch are wired. Now, in order for this to work properly, it's very easy to get confused about the way it's wired, thinking how does power come back to the switch and blah, 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 blah. Let me cut to the chase and make this simple. The power comes in on what's called a 12-2 wire, has two conductors, hot and neutral. From there, it's using a 12-3 wire. Now that's a hot, a switched hot, and a neutral. So the black is hot, red is switched hot, white is neutral. The switched hot is separated and goes to the top half of the switch. The regular hot is pigtailed and goes to the bottom half of the switch, so that there's always constant power to the bottom half of the switch, and that travels along the black hot wire within the 12-3 wire to the next outlet, top of the next outlet. Then another 12-3 wire is ran from that outlet to the next outlet, which travels from the bottom half of this outlet to the top half of the next outlet. Then at the top half of the next outlet, power is again using back to a 12-2 wire. Using the hot goes to the next outlet and feeds down the line, continuing the circuit so that it's not switched. But here at the switch, the original hot is pigtailed, goes to the bottom of the switch, and then the red switched wire is hooked to the top half of that switch, which transfers behind this outlet, which is wire nutted behind the outlet, the red wire, and transfers power from the switch through to the third outlet. And that's where your switched outlet has the breakaway tab broken away so that there's no constant power to one half. There's only power to the bottom half of the outlet on the switch. Assuming that's the way it's run, it can be run at the top half of the outlet, whichever half of the outlet has the red switched wire ran to it. So just to explain it, so you have constant power that travels along the black hot wire, and then the switched hot power that comes from the wire from the red wire. And this is the proper wiring. It uses the least amount of wire. You're using two lengths of 12-3 wire. 12-3 wire from the switch to the first outlet, 12-3 wire from the first outlet to the second outlet where your switched outlet is. And then from there it uses 12-2 wire from the top half to deliver power to the other outlets and continues the line and load. I hope that makes sense. I think that was the easiest way to understand it. It was tricky for me when I first had this problem where a switch was controlling all of the outlets on the string, but what probably happened is at the switch, when they pulled it apart, perhaps the wire nut came off and they didn't know what goes where, and they hooked it up wrong, and that's where this whole fiasco started on me figuring out how half electrical outlets are controlled by a wall switch, how those are wired. And so I thought I'd explain it here. You might also check out my recent video on wire size names and nomenclature. Primer. It's just a primer video on how the number sizes are determined, 12-2, 10-3, and NMB and what all those things mean on the wiring.
Walking through this world, I can feel the pressure, but I can take